What if every time you tried to play your favorite game, it looked like this, straight out of a PS2? Meet Bo, one of my best friends who's been going through a bit of a rough patch recently. And with gaming as one of his main outlets, it was a big issue when his computer started breaking. And he was so incredibly excited to play the new Monster Hunter game. And this gave me an idea, because despite being one of my best friends, Bo and I have never met in person. You know how it is when you're an awkward internet gamer. But here's the other thing. I had a trip planned to LA because I was gonna go finish 4 Cadelli songs. Yeah, by the way, I make music, link down below. I quickly got to work figuring out how I could surprise him with a gaming PC. So it was scheming time. Now here's the thing. One of the biggest electronics stores, Microcenter, is in Tustin, right outside of LA. And oh, what's this? I got an email from them saying that they want to do a video together? I mean, oh, okay. Wait, what's this at the bottom of the email? Oh, I have to build a keyboard. But that's no problem, because howdy hey, I'm Hipyo Tech and I build keyboards so you don't have to. So here's my master plan. I'm gonna be telling Bo that we're going to Microcenter to build him a custom keyboard, but I'll actually be picking out all of the parts to build him his own gaming PC. After spending 2 days in LA mixing music, I didn't really know what to expect after arriving at Microcenter, but holy cow, I was blown away. Oh, dude, they have the cat keyboard. Tons of keyboards. And then tons of switches and keycaps and lube. What? Now, my plan was simple. Nothing could go wrong. Nothing's gonna get spoiled. Everything's gonna be okay. We're gonna surprise Bo with a gaming PC. And did I mention I planned this in a couple days? This is Bo. He has a custom keyboard, but he's never built a custom keyboard. So I thought, what if I take him to Microcenter and make him build a custom keyboard? Now, once we got to Microcenter, the surprise was almost ruined because the Microcenter rep was like, hey, I've got all these PC parts for you. And I was like, shoot. But as an absolute improv king, I quickly responded, oh, Bo, don't worry about that. They're just making me build a PC, so we'll do that later. But I'm not sure if he's believing it yet. Now, the first thing you need to do when you're building a custom keyboard is figure out what kind of keyboard you want. Now guys, don't tell Bo, but this whole entire thing is a scheme. Although the scheme will actually help you pick out your own custom keyboard at home. Like first, pick out your layout. What kind of layout do you want for your keyboard? You want a keyboard with a numpad. I do. We're gonna have to pick that out. Really easy actually, because there's a lot of different options. But the best option that is always good enough is gonna be Keychron. Now, this is pretty important for you at home. A Keychron keyboard is a great keyboard, but it's also not the best value. However, the one advantage that you get to viewing all of these keyboards in person is that you get to determine your preference without having to buy a bunch of different keyboards, which is huge. That would have saved me so much money. So this is gonna be a really good base for the great keyboard that we're gonna build. But now that we had a good base for our keyboard, it was time to pick out some keycaps and switches, and where do you even start when there's this many options? Now, for keycaps, it might get really overwhelming really fast, because you're like, they're all just keycaps, right? Which one do you even put on your keyboard?
I know where the letters go.
And that's a great start actually, because really all you need to know with keycaps is that you like the aesthetic and that the kit supports your keyboard. And it's really easy to figure out if the kit supports your keyboard. All you do, you grab a box, you see the kit of keys right here, and you make sure that it matches up with the layout on your keyboard. Now, after scouring the shelves, Bo finally found some keycaps that he liked. And we also ran into some fans who said howdy hey, so howdy hey to all of y'all. Which one did you go with?
I went with the cats.
Cats?
Of course.
I love cats.
Everybody loves cats.
That's Nola if Nola looked different. Then it was time to pick out the hardest part of any keyboard build, which is the switches. And Microcenter actually had a ton of different switches that you could test around the whole entire store, which made finding Bo's preference really easy. Between tactile, linear, and clicky, it's often really hard to figure out what kind of preference you have, especially considering switches have different weights. What? Ultimately, we decided on these Red Dragon Tiger switches, which since when has Red Dragon made good switches? Crazy! Now that we're moving over to build our keyboard, we have to go over to the tech bar, which, yeah, there's a tech bar in a Microcenter. What the hell's going on? Now, originally, I was gonna wait until the whole PC was built and then surprise Bo after, but once he had told me that he'd never built a PC before, I was like, what if I told him that he's building his first PC for himself? So it was time to let the cat out of the bag, but don't worry, we're still building the keyboard later, and I'll talk more about that soon. So, Bo, you're here to build a keyboard, right?
First time.
First time. What I didn't tell you is that you see all these PC parts behind us?
I do.
They're yours.
Are you serious?
Yeah. This is your PC build.
Yeah, now I don't have words. I was just here for the ride, but now I have emotion.
Yay! We'll go through it in a minute.
but she's quite the build.
Now, I'm not a monster, so I'm not gonna milk my friend crying on camera, but it was a very special moment. Oh, but did I mention I'm flying out in just a few hours? So we're gonna have to get to work here. Now, Microcenter was nice enough to give me all of these PC parts to build a PC, and we have to build a PC. So let's get started.
Just the first thing covers our white shirts in blood.
That would be fun. What actually would be more fun is if you're dumb like me and don't know how to build a PC that well, you could use Microcenter's PC building service that they do in store here. Probably a lot smarter. Wait, what is that you said, Hipyo? You don't know how to build a PC? Why, yes, I don't know how to build a PC. Oh, kind of. I've built like 5 PCs in my life, and the last time I built a PC was like 3 or 4 years ago. So I'm going into this very rusty, but I at least have a couple lifelines with the Microcenter staff.
We've actually watched a lot of people walk in carrying their full build and go to the counter and got help with their full build.
They're like, please help me.
Yeah, if you're in a situation where you just need to carry your whole PC to a store, I think this might be a place that you could do it.
Now we're probably just gonna ignore cable management. Cable management? I hardly know her. You know how you never have space for anything?
That is my reoccurring problem, yeah. Any new game that comes out, I have to make some space for.
2 terabytes of NVMe storage.
I might be able to have more than 4 games on my PC at once.
And now's probably the best time to go over this PC build because I'm giving Bo a PC that's better than my own, which I'll have to fix in a future video. Stay subscribed for that. Now, for the motherboard, we went with an Asus TUF Gaming B650E with Wi-Fi because he's gonna need that. And because I'd never done it before, we decided to opt for a full Team Red build using the AMD Ryzen 7 9800X3D. Now, I know a lot about keyboards, but I don't know a lot about PC builds, so if this is a terrible build, please leave a comment down below, increase my engagement, I love you. We also opted for a 2 terabyte Samsung NVMe, as well as 32 gigs of RAM. Now, we got the motherboard installed, we got the CPU installed. How are you gonna cool it? A CPU cooler. Why, of course, no duh. I had picked out just like a basic fan cooler, and they were like, no, you can't do basic fan cooler. We need RGB water cooler.
He asked us, have you done this before?
Hipyo.
I said, no. He said, do you want to try? Sure.
Okay, now obviously I have to put Bo to work, so I'm having him screw things in. Are you good at screwing?
Yes.
But quickly, my lack of experience started to catch up with me. Oopsie. Oh, we need thermal paste. That's awkward. Oh man, he's getting a shot on my thermal paste application. Now, some of the oopsie doopsies that we did was installing the cooler before plugging in cables, installing other things before we needed to be installing other things. You know, just the whole order of operations was totally wrong, but I was like, I know things plug into things. This is so fun for me. I don't know, if this is my arc for becoming a PC building YouTuber, it's gonna be a really rough arc for you guys to watch. But then it was time for the graphics card. Ooh. All right, this GPU is an absolute baddie. RX 9070 XT. This will run Monster Hunter.
No longer will polygons be my main enemy.
Is that bigger than my head? That's bigger than my head. Did I mention it has a keycap? Like what? And the fans move? Bro, are you kidding? That's why I buy the graphics card. Also, now's probably a great time to nerd out over Microcenter, because despite the fact that they paid for this PC build, they didn't actually pay for this video. Now, Microcenter is a tech wonderland for any kind of tech enthusiast. Like, they have a 3D printing section, they've got an Apple section, the keyboard section, which you already saw, and they also do have locations all over the US, with a new one opening in Santa Clara shortly. But not only that, with their new Santa Clara location, anyone can show up and receive a free 128 gig flash drive when the store opens. Just sign up with the link down below. If you have one near you, you gotta go check it out. It's so freaking cool. Oh, and also on the floor, we have Floor Gang David helping us disassemble the keyboard while we build the computer. Because we wanted a bare bones build. So everybody, if you don't have a David, make sure that you get a David at home by leaving a comment that says, "Thank you, David, we love you." He's even wearing limited edition, barely functioning merch that doesn't exist anymore. But if you want me to make it, then also leave a comment. Thank you. Okay, yeah, genuinely, David is the best, because without him taking apart that keyboard, we wouldn't have had time to also build a keyboard. So shout out David for saving me in my flight. I'll explain why he was taking it apart later, but then it was time to install the graphics card, which meant beating a screwdriver. Wow, it actually looks really nice, as long as you don't look at this side. Okay, ready? Moment of truth. Do you want to hit the power button? Hit the power button, I believe. Wait, okay, the switch on the back. Try the switch on the back. Okay, now power button. Ooh, it lights up. Okay, so take note of how I go, ooh, it lights up. And let's just remember that, because we're gonna come back to the whole entire computer build, because it might light up, but does it actually work? We built your computer.
It's it?
How do you feel?
Really, that was a lot of fun, actually.
Yeah, we actually managed to do it.
I came in with zero knowledge, and that was a lot of fun.
Next is the keyboard. Ooh. Now, building the keyboard is actually going to be super duper easy, and we started with the Keychron Q6 Max because it was a pre-built keyboard, which would be really good if I wanted to do nothing to it. But instead, we took the whole thing apart and made it bare bones like you could buy online. Now, if you ever thought building your own keyboard was a bit too daunting and confusing, then watch the rest of this video and see how quickly we actually put it all together. Because we also had a lot of fun. Here's your switch. How do you think you put it in your keyboard?
There's plugs on the back, and if I line them up and feel really good about myself, they should go where they should go.
Oh, you did it. You heard the click. You succeeded. Now we just have to do that about 100 more times. Now you're probably wondering, Hipyo, why would I choose a bare bones keyboard over a fully pre-built one? And that's because we get to put in every individual switch and every keycap that we want on our keyboard. Similar to PC building, it means you get to customize the look, the feel, the functionality, all your own, and not just have something right off the shelf. Choice is super underrated. So this is your bare bones keyboard with switches in it. Now all you actually need is keycaps, and then you're good to go. You remember you picked out keycaps earlier?
I did. I'm excited.
These keycaps are actually so sick. I want to point them out again. They're Sumi Neko keycaps.
Nice move.
Thank you. MDA profile, which means they're relatively flat. They might be a different feel from your last keycaps, but 60 bucks for a full set. Not bad. I also love cats, so I'm really excited for these actually. Honestly, the whole fun of keyboard building is that you get to personalize your keyboard and make it feel how you want it to feel. So being able to see everything in person is really sick actually. I kind of want to open my own keyboard store now.
Fun on the Patreon, coming soon.
Yeah, please subscribe. Ooh, I really like how they're packaged too. Like in nice individual neat rows. Do you remember your keyboard layout?
No. I know where the letters go. No. Do people have different keyboard layouts?
That's fun people.
Fun people.
People that like to have fun sometimes, that maybe go out to party sometimes.
And they bring their keyboard to that party?
Yeah.
You said time leads to change, but I wish that you didn't.
And just like that, with the keycaps and switches on, Bo has a completed keyboard. Now, this isn't all there is to it. Like, there's modding keyboards with foam and lube, but if you want to dig deeper, then I recommend you check out my other videos. Oh my god, you did it!
I did it.
You built the keyboard. Wait, how did it feel building your first keyboard?
Also, again, came in with zero knowledge. I just plugged things in there. That was fun, and I liked what I was plugging, so it was like...
Now, the important part. Does the computer work? Now, we ran into a lot of different various issues, but we had the lovely help of Pablo at Microcenter, who helped us make everything work perfectly. Shout out, Pablo. We love you. We've got Windows. It works. Okay, we did it. We built not only a PC, but a keyboard, all in Microcenter, all in, wait, actually, like what, 3 hours? Yeah. So just like that, my mission was complete. I surprised Bo with a gaming PC. By the way, he absolutely loves it, and it can play Monster Hunter, and he's absolutely having the best time ever. We surprised him with the keyboard, which he ended up giving to his girlfriend, but she also loves it. And I made 4 new songs, which, by the way, one of my new songs just released, so please check it out and go give it a listen down below. Special thanks to Microcenter for letting me film in their store and for paying for this PC build, and thanks to David for being such a sweet little, cute little guy. We love him.